Hey guys, this is Pastor Dave. Welcome to another midweek chat. Last week I shared that two of the greatest verses in Proverbs that can serve as a compass for living are Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. My first point last week was understand the object of our trust. Trust in the Lord. You see, to place my trust in myself or any other person is really to choose the wrong direction of my trust. I can say with all my heart and from experience that our wonderful Lord is trustworthy. Also, last week I shared to what degree should we trust in the Lord. Of course, that degree is with all of our heart. It has to be with the heart because sometimes it just doesn't make sense with our heads. Today, let me share with you point 3. What is the competition to trust in the Lord? Well, the competition is our own understanding. And lean not on your own understanding. Oswald Chambers said, trustfulness is based on confidence in God whose ways I do not understand. If I did, there would be no need for trust. End of quote. Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7 says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Here's what you do. Don't worry about anything. Pray about everything. This past Sunday, Rick Johnson, our guest preacher, shared this. Gaze upon God. Glance at your problems. The benefit of practicing what verse 7 says is this, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Have you ever done something that required your complete trust in the Lord and it exceeded your understanding? I remember Jimmy Carroll, and by the way, Jimmy went home to be with the Lord October a year ago. He started a great church in Raleigh, North Carolina. God blessed his ministry, but before he started his church, he was talking to a missionary, and he was telling the missionary that if God would do this and this and this and this, then he would start a church. In other words, in his mind, with his understanding, these things need to fall in place, and the missionary on the other line, I think he kind of paused, and finally he said to Jimmy, what about faith? That hit Jimmy like a ton of bricks, I think, and that really helped Jimmy to understand that he had it all wrong. He needed to trust the Lord. He needed to place his faith in the Lord to lead him and guide him, and he just needed to dive in and do it without understanding everything. I remember when God began to stir my heart about starting a church. I knew God wanted me to start a church, but I just didn't know where. And so in 1977, in August, we came home for vacation to Lynchburg, and I drove my sister-in-law's car up to Liberty Mountain. This was before there were any buildings. And I was really burdened about this, and I told the Lord, I'm not coming down from this mountain until you show me where you want me to start a church. Now, I was not up there 40 days and 40 nights. But before I left, the Lord brought to my mind Alexandria. I didn't surrender right on the spot, but eventually I did. And the pastor I served with in Salem, Virginia, Rudy Holland, and I took a drive up here to kind of scout things out and to look over the part of Alexandria that we did. And I remember him saying, don't you realize that you're going to, and I think he said, to one of the hardest places in the country to start a church. And I don't recall if I said it or if I just thought it. But anyway, the thought came to my mind, well then, God will have to do it. And I may have said it, but I remember thinking God will have to do it. And God has done it. God did do it. So you see, if the Lord is leading you to do something, Your understanding may not align with what the Lord wants you to do, but go ahead and do it anyway. And then 4, what we must resolve to do, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Now, beloved, there's only 2 paths a person can follow. There's God's path, and there's your path. God's way is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. But your path is also found in Proverbs. It's in Proverbs 14:12. There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. Beloved, choose life. Choose God's way. And honor him with your life. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes unto the Father but by me. See you next time.